I'm toying with an idea right now that feels controversial to me, and I'm going to put it out there for all of you. I'd love to hear some responses, and it's regarding our desire for the government, our desire for an institution to establish morality, our desire for our workplace to be the environment in which we define who a good person is, our desire to have our government, these 500 plus elected officials, define what is good and right and proper. I don't believe in it. I never have. I have never been a fan of a man-made, a human-made institution being the institution by which we as humans define who we are and therefore hold you accountable to being who I think you should be. And I say that because it has been my experience, and it is a proven historical and biblical fact. Whether you follow the Bible or not, it's one heck of a good book from a historical perspective, even though it's not a historical book. We ask institutions to do too much. We are asking humans, fallible humans, in a group setting that is structured and organized to deliver a product, i.e. we're asking a school system that is supposed to deliver a product, an outcome. We're asking a business that is supposed to deliver an outcome, a product. We're asking a government that's supposed to deliver an outcome, a product. We're asking each of those, for example, to be the place at which we individually are told who to be. And folks, it doesn't work. It barely works to ask our religious institutions to do it. I mean, why do you think none of y'all like church? Why do you think we as a society reject the notion of religious leaders telling us who to be? Because they suck at it. I mean, I am almost 51 years old, and I didn't accept the institution of church until I was about 35-ish, 36, 37. It wasn't until 2006 that I finally decided I had better get a better attitude about this institution of church if I'm going to follow this God that I claim. And I decided at that point in time to claim Jesus, to claim Yeshua. That's the God I chose. If you've read my book, you know I talk about you must claim a God, right? A God system. So I decided in 2006 to claim the God system of Jesus. And therefore, as I say in my book, whatever God system you choose, dive into its institutions, dive into its books, dive into its people. So when I dove into the institutional church, I had to give up the idea that this institution was going to deliver the answer, that it was going to be the house of the perfect people and the perfect outcomes. And I had to give up that it would be a place where even maybe I felt comfortable. I found a church that had leaders, or a leader specifically. I will call him out, Pete Briscoe. He has retired from Bentry Bible Fellowship. But I found a leader who I could follow, who I believe delivered a message that was good enough for me to follow based on the way I think. I have a very academic, analytic, rational, organized, fact-based mind. And Pete Briscoe was a pastor at the time who taught in a very academic way. His church was also a church at the time that delivered a message that was really about come here to learn and to find people. But ultimately, and this is what I appreciated about Bentry, and they still kind of believe this way. For those of you that live in Dallas-Fort Worth, go check them out. I don't live there anymore, so I don't attend. But they actually had as part of their premise, look, we cannot be the be-all and end-all for you. You have to take what you're learning here in this institutional setting and go apply it in the world. Go use what we're teaching and live it out in the world, live it out in your workplaces, in your communities, around the world, right? I so appreciated that message because our institutions are not designed to be the be-all, end-all. They are designed to deliver a product to us. Again, churches are designed to give you enough of the word of whoever your God is so that you can go live it out. Live it out in your workplace. Live it out in your communities, with your neighbors. Live it out with your family, your spouse, your children. Live it out in your politics. But stop asking one institution, stop asking the schools to develop good children. That's your job as a parent. That school system is supposed to be able to teach them some basics of thought processes so they can move on. Your job is designed to teach you how to deliver a product and a service to society. But your job is not a place where you're supposed to go feel loved and supported because you're different than everybody else. They need to have basic measures in place that there is some equal access to the job. But folks, that is not your community where you can feel belong and loved. Stop asking your businesses to be more than a business. And stop asking government to be more than the basic protectors of life and liberty and protection of properties. Government can't be the arbiters of morality. That's not their job. And if you think it's their job, well, then there you have it. You can tell what political party I reside in. Bottom line, this was my attempt to get you to start thinking about the limitations of human institutions. And the reason we have such a mess on our hands is because humans keep asking institutions, man-made human institutions, to be far too much. You're asking too much of schools. You're asking too much of your government. You're asking too much of your workplaces. And you're putting too much stress on the humans that work in those institutions. You know, the reason I have not run for political office is because you all ask for way too much. You'd be asking too much from me as a politician. You want me to give you what you specifically, your special interest wants. And folks, I can't meet all your needs. There's no way I individually could. And a government cannot and will not deliver on that. Just get over it. They can't. That is your job as an individual. Stop asking so much of your politicians. Stop. Stop asking so much of your bosses in your workplace. Stop. Stop asking so much of your your religious leaders. Stop. God forbid, stop asking your school teachers. Stop asking them to deliver that which you individually are designed to deliver for yourself. Your peace, your joy, your freedom, your happiness, your wealth, your health. Those are your responsibility. Stop asking others to do that which you are supposed to do for yourself. I pray this has added something for you to think about. I pray that this has added a little bit to your happy, or at least made you so pissed off that you're going to go figure out what indeed it's going to take to help bring you to your highest level of happiness. Shalom.